Oh, hi. Eoghan, did you notice the spelling on the last one? How you spell it? Eoghan, over here, is E-O-G-H-A-N. But I like this spelling style, so I've stuck a B in it, just, because it's my name. So it's E-O-G-H-B-A-N, Eoghan. And interestingly, there's a county Tyrone in Ireland, up in the north. And Tir, T-I-R, yn Gymraeg in Welsh, is land. And it's similarly over here too. Yn Eoghan, an island. You got Tyrone. So County Tyrone is the land of Eoghan. Which, I feel like I ought to go up there and claim. But what was I saying? So yeah, today Eoghan in Exile in Ireland is all about economics. Thought we'd have a bit of an economics chat. North Node in Taurus, the direction of the collective is heading towards the abundance and prosperity and earthly wealth in whatever form that might come. It could be sustenance, produce, could be economics, whatever that might be. This is Taurus, which is connected with Venus, which is connected with earthly loveliness, generally speaking. So your pot puree and your throw pillows and all that sort of creature comfort luxuriness comes under the umbrella of the Taurian energy coming from Venus, which is closer to the sun where it's warmer. Okay, so today we're going to chat about economics, because prosperity during our times, during this epoch, is connected with economics. It all boils down to the filthy lucre, the hard mathematics, the abstract mathematics. So where's it come from? Let's look at history a little bit. Let's pretend that we're from the medieval days. So let's go back, 1300 years, okay? And your expertise is in growing aubergines, okay? And you really need some honey, because you're out of honey at your homestead. So you go over to the honey guy's place and you say, "Oh, hello, Mr. Honeyman. I'm from Llanabadder up the road by there now, and we're out of honey. Can I have some of your honey? I know you're an expert collector of the honey." You'd be speaking Welsh, obviously, but the accent is putting you in the right area. And he says, "Yes, I have got lots of honey, but what are you going to trade it for?" And the aubergine grower says, "Well, I grow aubergines. Would you like some aubergines in return for the honey?" And the honey guy says, "No." Just stop in for a second. I just got to tighten up this microphone because it might help with the audio quality. Okay, so the aubergine guy can't get his honey because the honey guy doesn't want any aubergines. Well, that's a bit of an issue, isn't it? But the honey guy says, "Wait a minute. Bloke down the road by there, Crymych, down in Crymych, down Crymych way, he wants some aubergines. And if you go and give him your aubergines, he'll give you some of his herbal medicine that he grows on the side of the road. He's got elderflower and he's got honey sweet. They look similar. But if you have the honey sweet, that'll cure the ailments, and I need some of that, so we could do a three-way round-robin trade." So the aubergine guy goes, "All right then." So he walks all the way down the road, miles and miles and miles, to the honey sweet herbal medicine guy. No, she's a woman. And she says, "Yes, I do want some aubergines, but I haven't got any honey sweet left. It's all gone, too popular. And people are picking it themselves in the road." No, so what I'm trying to get to, I'll get to the point here. To conclude my point here, is that what they came across the idea of, it's probably much older than 1300 years, this idea, but was a market. They created a market. So today we talk about the market. We talk about, stocks and shares and economic trading and banks and high finance, all this kind of thing. But it all starts in principle back in that way. People bringing their produce to the market. Okay, so you have this melting pot of produce, of trade, where people can barter and interchange what they want. But you've still got the problem, similarly, where the guy who's got the aubergines, how does he get his honey if the guy with the honey doesn't want aubergines? Well, this is where money comes in, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody came up with a bright idea of this token system. If we all swap our produce for this abstract token system, we can trade so much more simpler at market. So I'll hand in my aubergines to the man, and in return I'll get some tokens, some money, some credits at the market to swap and trade and barter with everybody else. So I can get some honey even though the honey guy doesn't want any of my aubergines. Brilliant! What a wonderful tool. So all that was all well and good, except from a power perspective, because the guy who was organising the finance and the economics and the tokens and the trading credits, he realised, or maybe it's a she, it might have been a her, she realised what a powerful position she had. She realised that everybody depended on her abstract mathematics for this brilliant market idea to work. And she realised that unlike the aubergines and the tomatoes and all this other produce from the farms, money didn't go off. It didn't deteriorate. It didn't degenerate over time like the beetroots did, and the radishes and the potatoes. The money just kept on working, operating week after week after week at these markets. And they realised that it was a brilliant idea. And then over the decades and over the centuries, even over the millennia, this idea of money became very alluring to the people. They wanted a piece of that action. If you could get involved in the money game, you could have whatever you wanted from the market. You could be very, very wealthy or rich in abundance, Taurian sustenance and wealth. Venusian from Venus. Venusian goodies and trinkets. And it wasn't even real. It was all abstract mathematics. Isn't that marvellous? They thought to themselves. Well, obviously with these cycling videos, I like to get to an astrology point at some stage. So I'm going to make this one quite brief at the end. But the age of Aquarius is a bit like Star Trek. Have you seen Star Trek? So on Star Trek, they talk about how back in history, because it's the 25th century or something, there used to be a money system when people were less convivial, harmonious, intercollectively. And my prediction is that we're going to move past economics, because it is a bit mental, it's a bit mad. In a lot of ways it causes a lot more problems than perhaps it solves. So you think in one of the Australian suburbs I was reading about, everybody grows fruit gardens, and they don't even need to speak to the owner of the garden. There's so much of it that you just have to know where the lemons are, and you go and get them. And you yourself grow, the chilies or the carrots or whatever, cabbages, and people come to your garden and help themselves. And apparently it all works very, very well, and there is no need for money, because the abundance is on the up. And people talk about carbon dioxide being a problem. On the contrary, ladies and gents, it's the gas of life. We breathe in oxygen and we we respire, we exhale carbon dioxide, as does the sea. 70% of the planet's carbon dioxide comes out of the sea. The amount of carbon dioxide that comes out of car exhausts is very, very minimal. less than 5%, I think, probably much less than 5%. But my point here is that carbon dioxide is low. Oh yes, the percentage of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere at the moment is low compared to some of the times throughout history. We could double it or triple it, and the plants would grow better, ladies and gentlemen, because they love it. The plants love CO2. So all we have to do is grow food gardens, forests, and just collect all the gifts. Mother's milk from Mother Nature. The land of milk and honey. It's almost upon us. But we do have this obstacle hurdle to get over that is called greed, financial exploitation. Oh yes. I think we'll stop there. Yeah, check out the North Node. The moon is on an elliptical circuit, and we're at the Leo new moon now, and then we're going to the full moon of Aquarius. So the age of Aquarius will correspond with this full moon approaching. Fingers crossed. And during the age of Aquarius, as the age of Aquarius gradually arrives, we will become much more interrelated, interconnected societally, as opposed to this isolation and separation that we've been burdened with through economic, confusion. Because you can't eat money, you can't shelter under money, you can't drink money. It's just a tool for swapping. It's abstract mathematics, everybody. And when that CO2 level is allowed to produce the abundance and the food gardens that it can, then there's just going to be loads for everybody. The land of milk and honey. Happy days. Hulvár.